Hey, what's up YouTube? You're watching Ready Set Drone, and today we have the Interceptor from EMAX. This is a toy grade FPV race car, so stay tuned and we'll check it out. All right, so for anybody who's into FPV, this is going to be a real treat. And if you're not into FPV, this is actually a great way to kind of get the hang of it on the ground, because it's a little bit easier to drive a car than it is to fly a drone right out of the gate. This is a little brushed motor race car that has a built-in analog camera that can transmit at 25 or 200 milliwatts, and it's ready to go. It comes with the car itself. It comes with the remote control right here, which should already be bound to the car, but if it's not, you can bind it. Comes with a charging cable for charging up the battery in the car, and the car does have a battery. Now this requires some AAA batteries in the bottom, so I think it takes three AA's that go right here in the bottom, so you will need to buy those or have those handy. And then it comes with some FPV goggles. These are the same FPV goggles that came with the Easy Pilot, which is a little beginner FPV drone, Tiny Whoop, that they came out with around the same time that this came out. So these two were kind of like brother and sister FPV things. In addition to all that, we have a LiPo battery that's going to run your goggles, and this has a micro USB slot for charging it. The car has a canopy that pops off. There's just some little pins that go out, and if you're careful and you pull them out gently, you can pop the lid off the car. There's a canopy pin in the front, so then there it is, and you can also charge this one using this little micro USB slot in the front of the car. You can see the camera is mounted there with a little antenna for the transmitter, and then everything else is hidden inside the car. It does have a on-off switch on the bottom, and it does have brushed motor, probably just one motor that powers both the back wheels, I would think. And then the steering is up here. I think that is called rack and pinion steering in the front that allows it to steer. There's also a little tiny screwdriver that comes with this kit, and what this screwdriver is for is so that you can unscrew the door where the battery goes if you wanted to. Now you can just charge this thing by plugging into this micro USB slot in the top, or you could take the battery out and put it on an actual charger, which is what I'm going to do. And part of the reason I want to do that is I want to show you something about the battery that is kind of cool. And that is, this battery is pretty tiny, as would be expected for a car this size, but it is just a little 1S battery that you can actually take out. So that's the battery that comes with it, and you can put in one of these EMAX drone batteries. These are little 1S batteries as well. The difference is this is 300 milliamp hours, this is 450 milliamp hours. So this is going to give you more runtime than this is, and maybe even a little bit more burst power. So this actually fits quite nicely right like that in the bottom. And so you could actually plug this in like so and turn it like that, and you can see, again, this is a battery out of one of their drones. They're also batteries you can buy. You can buy them in groups or pairs or whatever. So if you wanted to run it with a bigger battery than the one that comes with it, that's what I would recommend, using one of these little EMAX 450 milliamp hour batteries. And we will pop the cover back on, and hopefully this battery has a charge. We will do this little screw back in. I'm not a big fan of the little screw in the bottom of these battery covers. I don't know why it's necessary. They couldn't just put a clamp or something, but it does hold it pretty securely. So that has been put back in. There's the car. We'll put the canopy back on top of the car like so. Just want to put these little pins back in carefully. Actually, you want to start by putting the front pin in. You can see it goes in right there, and then these two little back pins go in. And the canopy is back on. What you want to do next is charge your FPV goggles up with this little micro USB and this connector here. And then finally, you'll want to put the antenna on the goggles, which the antenna is right here. Now, the goggles only come with one antenna. I'm not sure why they didn't include two. It seems like that would have been a fairly easy thing to do and give you better range, but they come with one, and they will work okay with one as long as you don't drive it too far away. So we'll just start with the one there. And these goggles also have the same bands that an FPV drone has, so you can use these for a drone as well if you wanted to fly with them, or if you wanted to use them for like someone else to observe while you were flying, or if you have two sets of these goggles, someone can drive and someone else can watch while the other person drives. They don't have a DVR built into them like Fat Sharks do, so I'm going to use my Fat Sharks to record this driving around, but just know that you can drive with these goggles, you just can't record your video screen.